In the heart of Austin, Texas, lived Ryan. He wasn't a man of great wealth, just a simple office clerk whose world revolved around his younger sister, Sarah. She was the bright spark in their family, a brilliant university student with dreams as big as the Texas sky. After their parents passed, Ryan had promised to be her rock, her guardian, and her provider. One rainy evening, that promise was put to the ultimate test. A single phone call shattered Ryan's world. Sarah had been in a devastating car accident. Doctors at the hospital spoke in low, serious tones. A severe spinal injury. To save her from permanent paralysis, she needed a highly specialized, experimental surgery. The cost? A staggering $300,000. $300,000! It was a sum Ryan couldn't even imagine. His wife, Jessica, was pragmatic and furious. "Ryan, we have a son," she pleaded. "We have our own future to think about. It's throwing our life away on a maybe." But Ryan saw only his sister's face, her fading dreams. He made a choice. He owned one single asset, their small suburban home, a home filled with their family's memories. He decided to mortgage it to the hilt. When Jessica found out, the betrayal was a final breaking point. She packed her bags, took their young son, and left. Her last words were cold. "If you choose her over us, don't ever expect to see us again." Ryan got the money. He took Sarah to a specialized clinic in Germany. The surgery was complex. The recovery was agonizingly slow. Months bled into one another. When Ryan finally returned to Austin, he was a changed man. His job was gone due to the long absence. His bank account was empty, and his wife had filed for divorce. To survive, Ryan, the former office worker, became a rideshare driver. He spent his nights navigating the lonely streets of Austin, haunted by the shadows of everything he had lost. But he hadn't lost everything. Sarah was back, and though still weak and confined to a wheelchair, she was recovering. And every night, she would pray. She would lift her hands, tears rolling down her face, and whisper, "Oh God, my brother, he lost his home, his family, and his job, all for me. Please, I beg you, restore his life. Give him a reward that no one can ever take away." Ryan, collapsing after a 12-hour shift, would sometimes wonder if he had made a terrible mistake. Then, on a nondescript Tuesday morning, the phone rang. It wasn't a rideshare request. It was a lawyer's office. The lawyer explained that Ryan's great-uncle, a man he'd never even met, a recluse who had left the family decades ago, had passed away. This uncle, it turned out, was the silent, brilliant owner of a massive logistics company. And he was childless. As his last living relative, Ryan was the sole heir to the entire estate. Ryan thought it was a cruel joke, but it wasn't. Suddenly, he wasn't just a rideshare driver, he was one of the wealthiest men in the city. The first thing he did, he booked Sarah into the best rehabilitation center in the country. The second thing, he received a frantic call from his ex-wife, Jessica. She had heard the news. She was crying. She was so sorry. She wanted to bring her son and come home. Ryan listened patiently. When she was finished, he spoke, not with anger, but with a quiet finality. "Jessica," he said, "a plate that's been shattered can't be put back together. You left me in my darkest hour. I will provide for my son for the rest of his life, but us is over." Ryan's life was rebuilt stronger than before. He took over the company, and within a year, Sarah, now walking again, was by his side, managing its charitable foundation. He eventually found a new partner, someone who loved him for the man who drove the late-night shifts, not the man who owned the company. Sometimes, looking out over the Austin skyline from his new office, Ryan would remember his sister's prayer, and he knew with absolute certainty that a selfless act, a true sacrifice made for family, is never, ever forgotten.